Welcome back. This episode is part 2 of our latest chat. Now, sadly, Lisa was not able to be with us as she was unwell, and we really missed her. Now she's okay. I'm looking forward to getting back with us in the next chat and her upcoming holiday, which you'll hear more about in the future, I'm sure. Now, in this episode, we get a little juvenile, because we can, and I talk about how I nearly died in IKEA, and so much more. So let's get on with it.
So what have you been up to then, Michael?
Selling Mum and Dad's house.
Yeah,
how's that going?
We got
dynamic pricing, they called it. There you go, sorry.
We got a second real estate agent because the first one wasn't really good, and he was excellent. Had it sold in like 4 days. Yeah, and that quick. It was
Well done.
fantastic strategy as well. So it was really interesting to see. We're not just selling it's not just selling the house. So it was really interesting to see that. So we're just waiting for that to settle, and then.
Is it empty though? Have you removed all the?
Yeah. We had to take everything out because, the house had to be sorted anyway of all their stuff. So we did that back in February. Well, actually, I shouldn't say we because I wasn't allowed. Vicky and my sister did that because I'm too mercenary. I would have just went skips everything in the skip, whereas. They managed it. They managed it, and they showed respect to Mum and Dad's stuff. Whereas, not that I'm being disrespectful, it's just that there's a job to be done. House needs to be emptied. Right, let's do it. So they wouldn't let me. I was relegated to the garage. So they whittled all that down to there's a small stuff in a lock-up storage area, and then once that settles, then it's all going to go straight out of the bank and pay for their care home. Fuck, it's expensive. 650 grand each.
Bloody hell.
Each. And that doesn't include this. That doesn't include the fees either. So that's just for their room.
Yeah.
Then you've got the daily care fees on top of that.
Are they in in a married couple's room?
No. They'd kill it. They'd kill each other.
Okay.
Well, no, my dad wouldn't. My mum would probably stab him, I think.
So your mum's obviously got some sort of aggressive dementia, yeah?
Well, she's always, she wouldn't let Dad retire because she wanted to keep him at work, so he's out of her hair. But so there's always been that dynamic. But yeah, her dementia is more of a Lewy bodies type, so that you can get hallucinations, and aggression can be part of that. Not that she's shown that at the moment, So yeah, there's that. What else have we been doing?
What is not sounding horrible, and I don't mean to be, but I know there's lots of different forms of dementia, and how does dementia end your life? Do you just forget how to swallow? I don't know how it works.
Well, pretty much your brain just
shuts down.
The way I understand it,
loses function.
Yeah, you just lose function. You start to lose. So at the moment, you can see that my dad, for instance, has lost his short-term memory. You can see that because the conversations that you have with him are the same one you had 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, Tim's mum's a bit like that.
Yeah. And so, but he can still, he talks a lot about when he was a kid. So when we came over to the UK last year, we went to 2291 Dunbar, Glasgow, because that's where he lives and that's all he talks about now. And so we did that as a bit of a homage, and and Vicky had never been there, and so we did that. So he remembers that sort of stuff, but he gets confused when we say he lives in Australia and he has done for 40 years.
Yeah,
he gets
his
confused.
brain's still back there where he was.
Yeah. Whereas, but one of the things that is positive about it is he was always a worrier, stressing about everything. He doesn't have that anymore because it's not there. So he's actually he's happier. It fucks me right up because I've always known him a different way, and I'm like, who is this bloke? I don't know you. And then Mum, on the other hand, she's got a Lewy body type. So that can be hallucinogenic, and there's some aggression. You can start to see that she.
Imagine that sort of dementia is quite scary for her. If you're seeing things, oh my god!
Yeah, well, one of the funny things was, and this is just, I guess, because we're old and we can talk about the medical stuff, but what we've discovered through the geriatrician is that Lewy body dementia can actually present as Parkinson's disease. Now, there's no test for Parkinson's disease. It's more of a clinical observation. If you've got certain types of things going on, then they would probably say, yeah, you've got Parkinson's disease. So she always thought she had it. And so they gave her Parkinson's medication, which actually sent her I was getting phone calls going, Mike, you've got to come over because there's people coming in the house. She was imagining all sorts of stuff because the Parkinson's medication was mucking about with this whole dementia thing. And, it's got quite interesting. But, But what else are we doing? So we're preparing.
All right.
Are we preparing for the trip over? So.
You got that going soon, yeah.
Yeah. It's what date is it today? It's the 2nd. We finally figured out it was the 2nd today, didn't we? Yeah.
I was going mental. I'm really confused.
We're flying. So when we go on holiday, the actual getting to we start it as soon as we walk out the front door. So we're flying out on Saturday the 21st, I want to say. Was it the 22nd?
Yeah, no, it's 23rd.
Yeah. So the Friday before that, we're taking the train up to Sydney, going to stay in the hotel at the airport so that we don't have to rush around, all that sort of stuff, and then just walk across the road, check in, fly over. We're only away for 2 weeks, really.
2 weeks. It's going to be pretty full on 2 weeks then. I don't think we're going to be about, Michael. You said about popping here the 24th or something. I think we're away from the 20th to the 11 days. My brain's not.
What date do you get here, Mike?
20.
Okay, so we get here on Sunday the 20th. God, I'm going to have to bring a bloody calendar.
22nd. Third.
Yeah, look, here's the calendar.
All right,
so in Australia, Dawn, it'll be different.
Yeah, so Sunday. Sunday the 20th, we get there at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Then on Tuesday, we were going to make our way up to Chester because we were going to go to Story House again, and we're staying there until Monday morning. So that'll be Monday the 30th. Yeah, we're booked in at Chester from Thursday to Monday. So we could either there's some days there, Mike, where we could maybe 25th, maybe 25th, 26th, or wait until we.
Okay.
Sunday the 6th is the Full Stop podcast get together at St Pancras. So it might have to be the 7th if those 2 days are.
Just let the diary. I've kept the diary free, obviously, because we've got the knee thing. But just let me know. Let me know. We would love to see you.
No, I've told Vicky she'd love to. So
yeah.
She goes because obviously she knows you do lighting. She goes, has Mike got chandeliers? I don't know.
We've got a few in the house, but I've just sold one actually. But
she loves the whole idea about chandeliers, and so as soon as I said light, she goes, "Well, I've got chandeliers." I go, Vic, it's like when you get a haircut, or when someone gets a haircut and the bloke doesn't notice, right? I'm like that with chandeliers. I'm sorry.
I love chandelier. I do. They're just lovely. I like the way they sparkle in the light.
They're great fun to work on, but they're tricky.
So when you going in for your op, Mike?
Fortnight today.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I can't say I'm looking forward to it, but
ask for some ketamine.
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
You'll go. That's cool. Can I watch?
Yeah. But There are times when I think, do I really need to have this done? It's all right, really. And then I'll, walk the dog or something, turn over in the middle of the night, go, Jesus, or wake
No,
up.
take 'em.
Yeah, I've got it.
Are you having both or just one?
Just one, and only half of one, the inside of my right knee. Because the cartilage has completely gone on the inside, but it's fine on the outside.
So they just taken it out or put new cartilage in, or what?
No, they cut out the inner side of the bottom of the femur on that side.
Oh, okay.
Then they put a cap on the top of either the tibia or the fibula. I can never remember which one on the inside, and that's a metal plate that's screwed into the bone both sides. That then has a plastic cap. So you then, instead of having bone on bone, which is what I've got now, which is causing the pain and it's crumbling, you then have plastic on plastic.
Yeah.
Which they've said should last you 25 years, which sadly would probably see me out. But I can't say I'm looking forward to it. I've kicked the can down the road for 40 years. The first surgery I had on this knee I was 22 and I'm 66 now. So, but the good thing is, because of the trouble the NHS is in here and the huge waiting lists, in an attempt to get waiting lists down, particularly with orthopaedic stuff, they're farming it out to the private sector. So I'm getting it done at a private hospital. The NHS are paying for it. Result. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Now that reminds me of the story I was going to tell you about nearly dying in the IKEA toilet.
Oh, yeah. What was that all about?
In the IKEA toilet.
So Vicky said to me one day, she's going, look, I need something from IKEA. Can you go and get it after work? Yeah, okay. So it's a nearly 100-kilometre drive up the road to IKEA in Tempe. So I did that. I thought, oh God, I'm hungry. I'm going to get something to eat. So I went to McDonald's, because you don't get a body like this on salad, all right?
No.
And anyway, so I've eaten that and driven to IKEA, and as I'm walking around, I'm going, God, that feels a bit off. It's like a really bad indigestion. Man, that is bad. And it's getting worse and worse. I'm starting to sweat. I'm thinking, fuck, am I having a heart attack?
Well, crumbs, yeah.
And you know how when you're under pressure and you don't make good decisions, I thought to myself, oh, look, I just need to go somewhere and sit down and compose myself. Where's the toilet? So I've made my way to a cubicle. I've locked myself in the cubicle, and it's getting worse and worse. And I'm thinking, fuck, I'm going to die in a toilet in IKEA. How good's that going to look? Shit. And then just like that, it went. I'm like, and this is me. I don't know why. I just went, oh, I'm all right now. Cool. Off I go. Carry on. Go and did what I needed to do. And then I've got home and I've told Vicky, she's gone, why don't you ring an ambulance? Well, I thought I'd be all right. I don't know. I can't tell you why I didn't. Perhaps I didn't realise the seriousness of it. Anyway, went to the doctors, and they've sent me straight to have scans and everything. They've done the whole test of, there's enzymes or whatever they can test in your blood if you had a heart attack. So, well, that's not there. So we could send you for some scans, and they found a gallstone about that big.
Yeah.
And they said, and anyway, so when you were talking about the NHS and going private, because we've always had private health insurance here, they've booked me into a specialist. I seriously got into the specialist on Thursday. He said, yeah, they'll have to come out. You'll get another attack like that. I'm going, I'm not having no one of them. Ooh, let's get it out. He goes, I've got space next Wednesday. Do you want to do it? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
God, only because I was a private patient, which is good for me, but at the same time, you just think, fuck, how unfair is that?
Yeah, that pain is, funny enough, this came up at the weekend because one of my cousins is due to have a gallbladder removed, and Sean had it done a couple of years ago. and they both having been mothers, they've said it's worse than childbirth.
Yeah, I've had it. I've got no gallbladder, and I thought I was
You've had it done
dying.
first.
Oh my God, I could not breathe.
So when
It's
he's
right around here, everywhere. Oh.
Yeah,
when
don't know
he's
what to
gone
do.
in, so when he's gone in, he's sort of talked to me afterwards, and he's gone, yeah, we had to do a little. We thought we had to make it a bit bigger because it was all keyhole. So
Yeah.
you might be a little bit tender. I've gone, mate, did you do it with a knife and fork? Because fuck, it hurts. And it turns out that I was on the cusp of going into some sort of sepsis because the
Wow.
the gallbladder wall, which is usually millimeters thick, was like 10 mil thick from all the irritation and then, of course, infection. So got it out pretty quick. I got it out at the right time. But yeah, it was an inch, 25 mil in diameter.
Jeez.
It was big.
My dad had 10 stones, and they were all the size of, half the size of a marble, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've always had this thing with the medical profession that if you've got an orifice, they want to stick something in it, and whatever it is they want to stick in it is the circumference is slightly bigger than the hole. And if you haven't got an orifice where they want one, they make one. I mean, it's just I think they're sadistic, aren't they?
I think there's some truth in that because I've got another story. So one of my many life-changing accidents that I've had. The first one, I was riding a bike home from a training exercise because I think I mentioned I was going to be a copper. Anyway, I got hit by a truck and
Oh yeah, you said about it.
carted off to hospital. And one of the things that they were still trying to understand, it hadn't scanned me very well. They'd done some preliminary tests to see if I was internally bleeding, and there was a little bit of that, but there was something going on inside my stomach. And they found that my pancreas had been assaulted and the duct was blocked. So it was still producing all the stuff it needed to in one half of it, but it wasn't getting through. And that grew to about, I don't know, 1/3, one half the size of my abdominal cavity. Anyway, so the doctor said, right, you're not getting out of bed, you're not walking anywhere until we understand this and do something about it. It may resolve itself, it may not. Anyway, so I don't know if I'd given this certain nurse the shits. Now, don't get me wrong, I love nurses. I've been looked after from a lot of staff, and I have utmost respect for them, except this one. Because she says, have you been to the toilet yet? I go, well, no. So, well, have you been up to go to the toilet? Oh, doctor said I can't get out of bed. And so that was like a red flag to a bull, I think. I thought, shouldn't you talk to me like that? Because then the next minute she's come around with a rubber glove on and took me cherry. Unbelievable.
How long after the accident?
Sorry, Ian?
How long after the incident did she do that?
It would have to be a couple of weeks because I don't remember. I don't remember the first week. I was off. Yeah, I was off with the fairies for the first week. Yeah,
I don't know what you mean by took your cherry. Over here, that means something totally different. So I'm a bit confused.
She put a fucking suppository up my ass.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Yeah, that's.
The boys here knew what it was. They knew.
Mike didn't. Did you, Mike?
I wondered, but I was I was thinking, does that mean what I think it means?
I was in carry on nurse mode then.
You've done it again. Now you remind me of the two really old fellas sitting on a park bench, and one of them said to me, one of them looked at the other one. He said, do you realise you've got a suppository in your ear hole? And he went, oh no, now I know where my hearing aid is.
I've only ever had a suppository once, and that was when I was obviously going to have a baby, and I was terrified.
I don't think I've ever had one.
The nurse put it in my bottom, and then I
don't line up for it, Mike.
The toilet and shot it out because I was so frightened I'd poop myself.
I think they say it's actually one of the quickest ways to get something into the bloodstream. With not
bum.
Yeah, joking apart.
Yeah. Well, according to Bear Grylls, it is.
I don't really watch it.
Well, apparently, if you've got some dodgy water but you need a drink, you stick a hose up your ass, fill your rectum with the dirty water because your body will only absorb all the good stuff.
Really?
I'm not going to try it, but if you ever do, let us know.
I don't want lemonade.
I'm going to stick with this. Yes. Not going up the arse, I'll tell you that much.
My word. Touch wood, I've not had anything great. But when I had my gallbladder out, it was like you said, keyhole, and they do 4 entrance holes, I think. And then they just fill your body up with gas. And oh my God, and then they say, make sure you drink lots of peppermint, I think it was, oil or tea or whatever, to expel all the gas. And oh my God, I just farted for days afterwards. The nicest, honestly, I think.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Oh dear.
That's another thing. As women do suffer with wind as we get older. I never used to pass wind hardly at all. I get up now and I blow off, and Tim's like, "You're disgusting." I'm like, "I really didn't mean to do it." They don't smell; they just fart.
It's better out than in.
Absolutely.
It's actually the measure of a good relationship if you're sharing farts.
Yeah, it's that step across the line. When you do that, you know, oh, this is serious.
Yeah.
We all fart, don't we? I mean, God, if we tried to hold it in, I think we'd all be ill.
Yeah.
My mum does it very involuntary most of the time when I'm going up the stairs behind her, which is not
a very, very good friend of mine who will remain nameless in case he ever gets to watch this or anybody who knows it. But he actually and his wife, their party trick is to light them.
Oh, I knew someone to do
Yeah,
that.
they need quite a lot of wine inside them, which they're quite good at doing. But yeah. And actually, to be fair, I don't think they've done it for a while. But when we were a lot younger at wild parties, yeah, that was. I nearly said
That's a rite of passage, I think. We've all had to go at that once in a while.
Well, I haven't. I've never tried to light a fart.
But I think the problem is, as you get older, your ass gets hairier, and it just changes the whole dynamic of it.
Don't want to blow back. Explode.
Dawn, look, there's your challenge. Have a go at it between now and the next meeting. Let's take it on.
Divorce me. And the way I fart, I could be sodding burn the house down. I'm like a flamethrower.
Actually, there's a funny story about that because, and it was quite a while ago when people had video cameras. When they all became the thing, where you actually put a cartridge in. I mean, you do it on your phone now, don't you? So and we used to go away. Big group of us used to go away for New Year's Eve. We'd rent a house down in Devon or something and just have a wild party. And one of the guys had this, and he was the only one who had one. And years later, we were watching the video that this chap made of that particular party. And
that one of them handheld ones.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and there is my mate lighting his farts. God knows what time in the morning it was. And we were all watching it, and his now wife said, I'm not going to say his name, she went, "Oh, Fred, that's disgusting." And he went, hang on a sec, my dear, hang on. He said, "Look, the hand that comes up with the cigarette lighter to actually light it, isn't that your engagement ring?" And she went, "Oh."
Well, I can beat that one. So years ago, my dad had Super 8, is it the real...
Yeah, God, now you're going back. Yeah,
screen. So anyway, and in those video tapes that my dad had was one with he'll probably hate me. He won't watch this. That's fine. Linda Lovelace, was it the Willie Sucker?
Wasn't she? So I'm told.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so my brother had a few of his. Mum and Dad had gone out. I don't know where they'd gone, but my brother decided to have a few of his friends round, get my dad's video, the camera and reel, whatever it is, reel to reel on. Anyway, I walked in as they're watching this Linda Lovelace porno, basically, and all of a sudden, all I saw was this. It was like it caught the tape caught fire because all you saw on the screen was this big burn hole. So unbeknownst to my mum and dad didn't know anything about this, but anyway, my dad went to play it once and there was a big hole in the reel, so yeah, that was quite amusing. It must have been the bulb that set fire to the tape or something.
I would imagine so.
I've heard that happen. So I'm curious to know, did your dad ever mention it? Because then of course he'd have to own up to having porno.
Yes, I was wondering that.
Remember, I'm going to have to ask him actually when I see him again. It was never brought up, so whether my dad never ever played it again, whether he just got out of that Linda Lovelace stage, moved on to someone else, who knows?
Yeah, I'm curious now.
I'll have to ask him, Mike. He won't remember anyway, probably.
So we're missing Lisa.
But would he admit to it? Would he admit to it though?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's gone down the wrong God. But yeah, and IKEA, Mike, I hate IKEA. I am such a stubborn old bag. When somebody in a store writes, or not writes, but paints big yellow arrows telling me what way to walk, I will not go there. I will walk the other way, and I will just do everything to annoy people, the biggest trolley going, because how dare you tell me where to walk?
Dawn, are you the sort of person who does what I do with a car park? I deliberately go in the exit.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
not. Yeah,
yeah.
and I do that not on purpose, to be honest. I have no sense of
I'm
direction.
completely with you, IKEA. I went there once to buy a
Hate it.
sideboard thing about 30 years ago. There was something wrong with it. The sliding doors weren't quite right, so I took it back. They replaced it, and I've never been back, and I will never go to IKEA
I
again.
hate it. I hate the bloody place.
I want to wander around. I don't want you to tell me.
Where
If you
I
want
walk.
to tell me your stuff, let me look at it. You know, can't stand it. But
No,
that's
not
just.
my favourite shop. But then Tim goes, "Oh, what's the matter with you? Why are you so miserable about it? How dare you tell me where to walk in the shop?"
I'm with you.
I agree with you, Dawn.
Yeah.
I've only ever been to an IKEA once,
Yep.
and it took 2 hours. It was like walking through
Yes.
a museum
Yeah.
because we walked through, we bought nothing, we walked out the other end, but we had to follow the arrows, and
Yeah.
it took us 2 hours to get through this museum of modern
It's like
furniture.
queuing for cup final tickets. It's awful.
It's like at the airports, isn't it? They have them bloody barriers, those rope ziggy things.
Yeah.
It's like 3 people in the queue.
Yeah.
I'm like, go fuck yourself. Yeah.
That's it.
The best thing that actually ever happened about airports, must have been about 10 or 12 years ago. We took my mum. She lost 2 brothers in the Second World War. One was a merchant seaman, so he doesn't have a grave. But the younger one, was killed in Italy in late '44, which was a real shame. So it was quite near the end. And she'd never seen his grave. Long story short, very easy to find it because I obviously had his name and his regiment, and we found out where the grave is. So we flew out to it was in Tuscany somewhere. We took them over there for a few days, stayed at a really nice hotel, and we took her to see the grave, which was a hugely emotional thing. Anyway, but she was quite immobile at that time. She could walk, but we thought, no, we'll do it round the airport in a wheelchair. Marvellous. We went EasyJet, which is a budget airline. As soon as they said, yeah, old lady in a wheelchair, yeah, come through, customs, no, come through, passport control, come through. We even had a lift up to the plane, absolutely everything. And so every holiday we went on after that, I used to invite Mum. I said, do you want to come, come skiing with us,
Yeah. You could go on a toboggan, you'll be fine. Yeah, but don't you find, I don't know about Australia and that, but now we had to go and pick Eddie up from Heathrow the other day, and you have to pay £5 just to pick people up from the airport. So you drive in and you get charged a £5 just for them to get in your car. Fucking so mad. Such bastards.
You can see I've gone red immediately. It really annoys me. I dropped because Sean went skiing with the girls over into Spain a couple of months ago, and I took 3 of them to the airport. It was literally Heathrow, Terminal 5, the new terminal, Bosch, bags out, see you in a couple of weeks. Bye. £5.
I know.
That's rich.
I know, I'm like that. I get so cross.
Yes,
I'm like,
when we go to the airport, it's usually to pick up our daughter and grandson and that from up then too. Because we've got a little fella, we just park in the car park. So if you've got to pay £5 just to be able to stand still for 5 seconds and jump in, I just pay about $60 to park the car for 4 hours. It's good. We can get in there, sit down, have a cup of coffee, wait for them to turn up, sit there, cruise out nice and easy. So it's probably not so bad after all.
It's a good idea, actually. Yeah. I've used the same theory. We've got this little cottage down in Cornwall, and there's a place down, a lovely little fishing village called St Mawes. Very popular place to go, nice places to eat, and you can get a little ferry over to Falmouth. They've got a huge car park there, and Dawn, you'll understand it. A lot of public car parks now have which drives me nuts. You cannot put coins in the machine.
It's all the lingos and stuff.
The machine at this particular car park is not an app. It's a card-based thing, and it is, honestly, you need a first-class degree in quantum physics and a good one to understand, and even then it's going to challenge you. Whenever we go, there's always a throng of people around this machine trying to work out how it works. And the worst thing is if the sun, it's so positioned that if the sun happens to be shining,
Can't see the screen.
it goes on the screen, you can't see it.
Yeah.
And I've lost it with that place. I looked at the fines, and I worked out if I can get away with, because normally we're there for an hour or two, so we pay for 2 hours parking. I worked out that I've only got to get away with it 4 times and not get a ticket. And that equals roughly what the fine will do if I do get one. And I'm 5 in now, so I'm up on the deal. So if next time I go get a ticket, I'm still in. I just can't be bothered. So give me a ticket.
Yeah, but I'll get a bit more road ragey now. I don't really drive because I don't like the A1. I'll drive around all the country roads. That don't bother me. But the other day, me and Tim went into town to do some shopping. In Grantham at the moment, it's just road works. It's an absolute fucking
everywhere.
Yeah. So he's driving, and he drives a lot, so he's quite calm and patient, totally not like me. So I'm sitting in the seat next to him, obviously. We get stuck in the traffic, and then he sits there and goes, "Oh, should have gone the other way." And I was like, "Well, turn around then." And he went, "Oh, yeah. Well, I can't really do a U-turn now because that woman in front has got a big gap in front, but she's not moving forward." So I went, bib your horn then." He went, "No."
Oh.
I went, "Bib your horn." He went, "No." I laughed, and I'm all right.
Dawn, you got to. I used to use that word bib. A much better word, and it comes from wind in the willow. Is parp. Isn't that a lovely word? Parp. I want to play your fucking horn then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I must admit that the people ask me what's it like driving, Australia versus England, for instance, and that's one of the things you have to factor in is parking here. Unless you're going somewhere like in the city, you would sort of plan that, but anywhere else, it wouldn't be something you would need to think pre.
It's not a problem, no.
Whereas in the UK, I found that you now have to start thinking, okay, where's the nearest car park? And if that's full, where then am I going to go for a backup, that sort of stuff? Yeah, it's
another thing you have to think of, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need a wee. Tim's like, "You've only just
Exactly.
And then of course, you don't have to pay for park. If you went to the city, you would, of course, but yeah, just normally around here, you would. So if you went to the beach here, for instance, there'd be a fucking riot if they put a price on parking.
No, yeah.
Absolute right. They put in when Wollongong first put in the parking meters. There was it was like there's going to be a civil war here.
Yeah. So there should be,
How dare they? We've never had that. And and there were other shopping centres being put up at the same time. So now the place is dead because they were not going there. I can go somewhere else, so I don't have to go pay for parking. Boom, done.
And everything's there. You don't have to walk around everywhere.
Yeah. It's been really interesting. The different ways that you've got to manage to
We'll add that on top of having an electric car, where you then have to make sure that you've got enough electric to get to that certain point. But
the most disgusting thing here, and I am disgusted by it. I've actually had an audience with my MP about it, is hospitals.
Yeah.
You have to pay to park at a hospital. Even the staff do.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to a hospital because they want to. They're either ill themselves or seeing someone that they care about who is ill. Nobody goes to a hospital. I don't mind paying for parking anywhere else, even a station car park, shopping, theatre, sports, whatever, because that's a choice. But to go to a hospital, you have to go to a hospital. And it's fucking expensive.
Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah.
It really is. Watford General, which is our nearest big hospital, Sean was in there with pneumonia just before Christmas. So I'd go to see her. It's £5-6 a pop every day. And they say, you can get a season ticket, but it saves you about £3 in a month. It makes me see red. And it's not the NHS that's getting the money. They're funding it out parking companies who are trousering a dirty great big profit on the back of other people's misfortune. Is that a society I want to live in? No, it's not.
No, it's wrong, isn't it?
Right, rant over.
The other day, we went into B&Q the other day, and I shot into Marks and Spencer's to get a couple of bits, right? And Tim waited in the truck, and the car park's on a slight hill, not a slope, not hill. Anyway, I was putting my stuff in the back of the truck, and I didn't hear the trolley start rolling away.
Oh, no.
And I go around, and I saw this old pensioner sitting in his silver car.
Impaled to the wall.
And I said, the bloody trolley rolled away. What? Watching it. I said, well, I didn't do it. This old boy in the car, his face was just like, I haven't run for about 30 years. I don't know where I got that energy from. Yeah. That's one of Dawn's stories.
Just listen to the car park thing. So, Ian, I don't know if you got exposed to this, but you know Wilson's car parking. So there's a big company here called Wilson's that have lots of car parks all over the place, and they're owned by a couple of brothers, I think, either in Hong Kong or Singapore. Okay. That actual company. No. And have you ever heard of Wilson Security as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same company. Mm-hmm. So these couple of brothers. Anyway, I think it was something like, and they do this. They did the security for the government Parliament House.
Mm-hmm.
Their company was avoiding, doing the whole tax avoidance thing. They owed the Australian people something like $40 million in tax that they got away without paying.
Yeah.
You know, that annoyed the hell out of me.
40 million. What could we do with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Exactly. And they went into with the Australian Tax Office. They bargained that they would pay $4 million. Imagine if we
how are they allowed to bargain?
Yeah,
you can't do that, can you?
No.
How can they bargain with the Australian Tax Office? No one bargains with the Australian Tax Office unless there's something going on.
Yeah.
I know. Not annoyed.
So if they've unpaid taxes of 40 million, you said?
Yep.
$40 million of unpaid taxes. What are they earning in net profit?
Oh, exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're doing work for the bloody government.
Yeah.
Well, says it all, doesn't it? We had the HMRC the other day because obviously when Tim and I got together, I was still receiving child benefit, and obviously we forgot to mention that to the accountant. It wasn't an awful lot of money, but we forgot anyway. Got a letter the other day from HMRC via Tim's accountant saying that we had to say how much from when Tim's business started, how much we'd received in child benefit or my child benefit. So we wrote all the dates down, sent it all back, and then we had to give it all back. I think it was about 2008. But then it says you might receive a fine and penalties. And I thought, there's all these big companies that are screwing over the left, right and centre, and we've a misthought or misreading of something and didn't do it. We paid it back straight away, and I think, you piss off.
Yeah. Well, this year, this will be the first year my wife and I don't have to lodge a tax return because we're not earning an income. Yeah. We're self-funded, so basically our money's ours. So I went on the tax office just to check. They said if you want to know whether you need to put a tax return in. So I went in, did all the fancies, and it came up after about 30 questions. You don't need to lodge a tax return. I thought, great. Exactly. And then the next line down says you need to lodge a non-lodgement form.
Oh.
What the hell? You told me I don't need to lodge a tax form, but I've got to tell you that I'm not going to lodge a tax form. I just filled your stupid 30 question questionnaire out, and you yourself, you stupid computer, told me I don't have to lodge any forms, and then you tell me I've got to lodge a form to say that I'm not lodging a form. You fucking idiots, honestly.
It's obviously worldwide. I've got this flat locally that I'm trying to sell at the moment, actually, because the tenant's now gone. And so I've been going around and decorating it and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, there's posts coming through the door because I've had to pick up all the utilities. I get one from the TV licensing people. I don't know if you have TV license over there.
No, we don't.
Here.
No.
It's 150. And it says, we because obviously the tenant moved, took her license with her. And it said, we know this property isn't licensed. It doesn't have a TV license. You need to get one.
So I live in
the place is completely empty. There's no one in it. So I bought the paperwork home and thought, I'll tippity tap online. Thought, well, I must tell them that the place is vacant. And there was this questionnaire, self-questionnaire. Do you need a TV license? And I did all the questions. No, you don't need one. There was nowhere to actually tell them that the place is empty. So I thought, okay, well, I've done what you've asked me to do. I've followed the procedure. It says I don't need one. That's it. There's nothing more I could do. I then get 2 weeks later another letter saying you haven't responded. We're sending the boys with the baseball bats round. 2 weeks after that, I get another letter saying we've come round. There was no answer. Therefore, you'll be hearing from our adjudication claim, whatever it is, legal claim team. I thought, I really look forward to it. I look forward to you. I actually hope you take me to court because I'll enjoy telling the magistrate what a bunch of arseholes you are, and I'll actually claim compensation for my time. Fucking hell.
So Ian,
if the property's empty, tick this box.
And you've done that, and you're still getting shot.
Yeah. So Ian, I think the way it works is for them to watch
the
equivalent, our ABC, right? They have to have a license to watch it. Now they can watch all the other channels, no problem. But to watch the ABC, the equivalent here, they have to have a license to do that. I remember as a kid there would be adverts on the TV.
Oh, the vans.
Yeah, they would have They had detector vans that would roam the streets, detecting if you're watching the BBC, and then have a list of who's got a license or not. Seriously.
What?
Yeah. Do you have to have them now?
No.
So they dropped it, yeah?
But we've never had them. I'm just explaining.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The government fund it, and we just receive it. Yeah. Like a commercial one.
If you've got equipment that can receive BBC, and it's no good saying I don't watch it. If you can physically receive BBC, you have to have a license. It's 159.
Yeah, I think I pay £13 something a month.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
To have the BBC available to you.
I don't even watch the Poxy BBC, to be honest, because we've got
The question I'd have is in Australia with the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Commission. They are seen as being like the main point of contact in an emergency, natural disaster. So they'll be all over it. They'll have all the links and everything.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Does Britain offer that same? Do they promote that thing when there's a natural disaster to get onto the BBC and keep up to date?
No.
Because if that's the case, why are you paying for it? It's an important tool.